President Barack Obama nominated Fred P. Hochberg to the position of President of the Export-Import Bank of the United States, the United States government's official export credit agency, on April the 20th, 2009. And the United States Senate unanimously confirmed the nomination on May 14th, 2009. President Hochberg, in joining ExIm Bank, stated that he wants the bank to be an organization known for its embrace of innovation, which takes prudent risk and provides exceptional service to its customers. He stated that the bank plays a key role in helping U.S. exporters overcome financing problems resulting from the current economic crisis. And he stated that he will work to open more markets to United States exports. Please welcome Chairman and President of the Export-Import Bank of the United States of America, the Honorable Fred P. Hochberg.
God, it's dark up here. Can you hear me? I want to first thank Senator Mark Warner. I met the senator when he was chair of the Virginia Democratic Party in 1986, when I was President Lillian Vernon, and we were looking at 12 states where to move our companies so we could distribute Lillian Vernon products around the country. And Mark was one of the first people I met. He was Mark then, now he's Senator Warner. He was really one of the instrumental people in bringing Lillian Vernon and helping us choose to come to Virginia to make it our home. And we built over a 500,000 square foot distribution center in Virginia Beach. I also have had the opportunity to work with Secretary Locke, and one of the things that I particularly admire about the Secretary is that, one, if there's one state we can all learn from, it's the state of Washington. It's probably the most trade-focused state in the country, a state that, obviously with Boeing as an anchor there, but with Microsoft and others, has been always looking outward, always looking, particularly to Asia, in terms of helping the economy of that state. I think, and I have seen that Secretary Locke has brought that expertise and brought the interaction between federal government and state government to the Commerce Department. Is that better? Hello? Can you hear? No. No? Did you hear me before? No. No? I just have to yell. So what we're about today is to talk about exports and jobs. Let's see if we can even get a slide up. Is that what? I'll just keep going. The slides will catch up with me. Okay, we're here today to talk about exports and the jobs they create. And if you think, oh, there's one other person I should introduce. It's awfully dark, so it's hard to see. Lawrence Blackburn. Is Lawrence here? Lawrence Blackburn is with the Export-Import Bank, and he'll be on a panel later today. So he'll be joining shortly to fill in a little bit more of the details and facts that Secretary Locke and I are going over generally. But we're here to talk, we've got sound. We're here to talk about jobs and the economy. And for 22 months, we were losing jobs every single month. The last 6 months, we've added on average 100,000 private sector jobs each and every month. It's not nearly enough jobs, but it's a start. And what I'm focused on at the Export-Import Bank and why we were formed by President Roosevelt in 1934 was to create jobs through exports. So our number one goal and mission is about how we can help increase the number of exports and create jobs as a result of that. There are a couple of other things I'm working on that sort of infuse everything we're trying to do at the bank. Number two, we're working on helping small businesses. And Virginia is a perfect place for that because there are more small businesses exporting here than in many, many other states. So we are focused on helping small businesses, and there's a company we're working with called Commercial Links in Alexandria, Virginia, in the Washington area. That's one of the real gems of small companies we've helped that now has about $21 million in sales as a result of working with the Export-Import Bank. We're also pushing renewable energy. We have a great expertise in this country in wind, in solar, and energy efficiency. These are exports that are needed around the world, so we are focused on bringing those exports and making them much more available to foreign buyers, and I'll talk about that in a little bit. And last, what would you like to do? Why don't you have the microphone? Can you hear me now? Oh my God, I can hear you now. We've got slides, we've got sounds. You know, we do banking, we're not so good at the audiovisual stuff sometimes. And let's see, I think they're going to have it. Okay, the last piece that is important that I just mentioned is improving customer service. I work for a company, building inverter, my mom founded. We are focused on getting orders out and getting them out quickly. One of the things our bank has been legendarily known for is bad service. And we're going to turn that around, and we're providing better and better service for our customers. In fact, one of the, probably it's good for my staff and for me, I'm not there at 10 a.m. every Monday morning. We review how we're doing on service, how we're getting transactions out the door. And I like that meeting, but a lot of people working with don't like that meeting. So we are working to improve our service at the bank. So the question is, how do we get there? Secretary Locke mentioned 95% of the world's consumers don't live in the United States. So if you think about this auditorium, why would you only want to sell to the people in the first 2 rows and ignore everybody else in this room? Why would we only want to talk to those few people? It doesn't make sense. We have had a strong and robust economy, and for many years, we didn't have to look so much outside our borders. Countries like Germany, countries like China, certainly had to increase this standard. We didn't have to, and we do today. So exports are the kind of sales that will really create long-term and durable jobs. And at our national conference back in March, when President Obama announced the next National Export Initiative, Jeff Immelt of GE made the following comment. He said there are going to be 1 billion people, 1 billion people in the world by 2020 who will join the middle class in their respective countries. That's 1 billion people flying on airplanes and needing better transportation. That is 1 billion people eating a better diet, a more nutritious diet, eating 3 square meals a day or more. That is 1 billion people who are going to need energy, renewable energy and conventional energy to power their lives. That is 1 billion people who are going to need better medical care. I'll give you one statistic. In India, about 1% of the GDP is spent on health and medical services. As we all know, in the United States, it's at 17%. We're trying to reduce that number. But that number has to grow in countries like India, in China, in North Africa. So that is 1 billion people. And those are great opportunities for American companies. We sell what is needed to power these and to help these 1 million people achieve the kind of lifestyle they're looking to do. Now, as the Secretary said, President Obama made the statement he wants to double the U.S. exports in 5 years and add 2 million jobs. So let's hear what he had to say. We'll see if this works at the State of the Union. It's very soft. All right, I'll tell you what he said. He said we're going to double exports in 5 years. Now, I was in the audience that night, and we had to, at the U.S. Congress, Senator Warner, I had to check your BlackBerry, so you can't listen to anything else. I got out, I got 5 or 10 messages, and a bunch of people said, God, your job just got harder. And I said, no, my job got easier. If you're head of a company, the president of the company says, we're going to do this, everybody gets in line. The president said we're going to double exports in 5 years. It actually has made it easier. It's made it easier for us to organize events like this. It's helped us with more partners like Senator Warner in terms of bringing groups of people around the country together so that we can talk about how we can improve exports. The president has said he thinks we can create 2 million jobs. I never like to disagree with my president, but I actually think that's a low estimate. I actually think we're going to create even more jobs by doubling exports in the next 5 years. So my goal at the Export-Import Bank is to help more companies, get to more countries, and thereby find more customers, because that's the best way to create more jobs in America. In 2010, this year will end at the end of September. So the year that ended 11 months ago, we did $21 billion in financing. That was up 50% over any prior year in 76-year history of the bank. We did $21 billion, and this year we've already exceeded that number. We still have just under a month to go, so we will have another record-breaking year. And I would say one of the things I wanted to mention that in Virginia, one of the key things about today's conference is about 40 or 50% of the transactions we do, of the money we help to lend, it goes to small businesses in the state of Virginia. Nationwide, it's about 20%. So in Virginia, we're at more than double that amount that is helping small companies export globally. And I think all of you should appreciate this, and I know the Senator will. We do this without costing the taxpayers a single dime. Every dollar we collect from the buyers pay us a fee for either the loan, which covers all of our administrative costs, all of our loan losses, and since 1992, we have returned an additional $5 billion worth of profits to the U.S. taxpayers in the form of excess profits above all of our costs. So what we do at the Export-Import Bank, we're a bank, we don't give out toasters, we don't pay bonuses, but we do pay the U.S. government a dividend of $5 billion in the last 18 years. So, in terms of how we get there, what are we actually doing? Well, in leading the way, what we're doing is we're helping companies find customers overseas. More companies, more countries, more customers. The largest transaction the bank's history did this year was a $3 billion transaction to extract liquefied natural gas in Papua New Guinea. Who here knows what Papua New Guinea is? You guys are smarter than I. I did not know what Papua New Guinea was until we did this transaction. And the smallest transaction we did this year was for $8,100. We helped a company in Minnesota export for $8,100 liquefied silicone rubber that is used in baby bottles and shower heads and a lot of consumer products. So we run the full range. In the state of Virginia, we helped a company, Augusta Lumber in Waynesboro, Virginia, with a $150,000 export transaction. So we do them of every single size, from hundreds of million dollars down to $150,000, down to $8,100. And the key thing, the reason people use us, and the reason why, if you are considering exports or trying to expand them, is we eliminate the buyer risk. What we do, when you find, as the Secretary Locke said, when you find a customer overseas and you place an order, what we do is we will guarantee the receivable. We will make sure you get paid. We give a 100% guarantee on the receivable or on the letter of credit from a foreign bank. So if you sell to a company in, this is an exact example, in Egypt, and you get a letter of credit from the Bank of Cairo, we will give a 100% guarantee on the letter of credit to your bank, will accept that, and therefore give you credit to either get a working capital loan or other credit facilities for your company. So we take away all the credit risk from selling overseas. And frankly, if you sell your product, if you're in Virginia, you're selling your product to Chicago or Denver, there's no other way to eliminate that credit risk. We eliminate all the credit risk selling overseas. So to do that, what I've tried to do is in one word, and that word is focus. We're focused on markets, we're focused on industries, and we're focused on partnerships. In markets, we focused on 9 countries out of the 150 we do business with, countries that have rapid GDP growth, rapid economic growth, rapid infrastructure expansion. A lot of what we sell in America is on infrastructure, and places where our banking, our credit can make a difference. We identified 9 countries around the world. They're right here. I've got 2 left to visit. In November, I'm going to be going to Nigeria and South Africa. So I've been to each one of these countries to identify, working with government officials, working with local businesses, working with local banks, to find ways to put together, having sort of one foot in America and one foot in these countries, to put together the deals, put together the transactions so we can sell products in each of these countries. We're also focused on industries. And we've identified 5 industries that have unique American qualities. They are high value added, high technology, they're innovative, they are in demand globally, and they have very, very high U.S. labor content. So we know when we're exporting these products, we are actually also creating jobs in America. Let me just identify 2 in this list. One I'm going to visit, I visited last time during the snowstorm of February, in the avionics aviation, a company called Orbital, which is just outside of Dulles Airport. Orbital makes satellites. We've helped sell them satellites to Brazil. We've helped sell satellites to the Mideast and North Africa. They're providing internet services, and we're helping to guarantee that with guaranteed loans to make those sales possible and help them compete against French and other competitors. We try to level the playing field with companies like that to make sure that they get the same financing that foreign competitors have. And another company is a company called American Biosystems in Roanoke. They sell chemicals that help in farming and fish farming and land farming, so that, and we've helped them with a $90,000 export to make sure those products get to market. Third, it's a focus on alliances. It's a focus on chambers of commerce, financial institutions, networks, organizations. Like in Virginia, we have the Virginia Small Business Financing Authority is our city-state partner here. Outside of that, we have 60 other city-state partners around the country. I see Lou's Hochberg here. We also work with the SBA. And I worked at the SBA and the President. They have a vast network between their offices around the country, SCORE, women's business centers, their export assistance centers. And as I think the Secretary said, these different networks are available to make sure that you get the sort of face-to-face, hands-on assistance that you need to do more export. In addition, we've tried to add a couple of new tools, a couple of new financial products to help make those exports possible. One, as I mentioned earlier, about renewable energy. This year, we're going to do about $330 million worth of renewable energy exports. Last year was $100 million. The year before was 30. The year before was 2.6. We have a new product called Solar Express that helps $10 million or less solar projects. We cut the red tape, cut out the bureaucracy, and try and get those products, help companies that export them, get them to market faster. The other product we're introducing this fall that we announced with President Obama back in March is supply chain financing. What this says, if you're a manufacturer or a supplier, and even if you are not directly exporting, but you are selling to a company that is using those products and then exporting, we will provide you with the working capital and the financing capabilities as though you were direct export. So we know that there are a lot of small businesses in particular that are supplying larger companies that need exporting, and we want to provide the financial assistance to you as well. Lastly, as part of this, and it's always good in any speech when you hear the word lastly, you know it's coming to a close, and it's a good part of it, is partnerships. One of the things we've discovered is, or have a greater awareness, is the importance of the internet. Google frequently has worked with us on helping small businesses, medium-sized businesses, finding ways to get their products and services online and on the internet. The best salesperson you can have in reaching foreign markets is to use the internet, to find ways to get your product, to get your service online as a way of reaching customers. As the Secretary mentioned, the export assistance offered by the Department of Commerce is unparalleled. I work with those people whenever I travel. They are excellent. But having an internet presence is really key as you're beginning to think through export strategies. So let me close on a little more personal note. It's a picture of my mother. I started in business before I joined the ExIm Bank, and before I joined the SBA for that matter. I was in business. I worked for a family business, a company called Lilly & Vernon, founded by my mother. And it was founded in 1951, the year before I was born, so I'm 58. I'll do the math. You make it easy for those who like to count. See how old everybody is. I do. And when that company was started, we didn't have a lot of money. We didn't even have an adding machine. In the old days, people would send us cash before credit cards. And my job, I was told I couldn't say this when I went through Senate confirmation, but I know my parents broke the child labor laws because I was under 16, I was 6 or 7. My job was to take the coins, the pennies, nickels, and dimes, and roll them into those round things, and I could take the singles and count them into packs of 50. I'd go down to the bank manager's office, I'd borrow his adding machine, big leather chair, and I'd sit there and I'd add up the checks. I learned how to use an adding machine, and at the end, if you had some time, that's when bank managers had time to go in the back and play chess. Taught me how to play chess as well. So that's what I started. I think I started as a businessman as a very young man. After I moved the company to Virginia, we took the company public, and I often thought in the early days I had to watch the pennies, nickels, and dimes, and when it became public, we watched the quarters. First quarter, second quarter, third quarter, and very, very important fourth quarter. So I come to you at the ExIm Bank as working for you as someone who's run a business. I've run a business in good times and bad times, in recessions, out of recessions, with brutal competition, with technological change, and you know what? It's damn hard. It's hard to run a company. It's hard to run a small company, and it gets no easier as you get larger. It's very tough to do. So what I want to say to you in closing is that you have working for you a business person who is looking out for your interests in this administration, who's using his voice to find ways that we can help you, we can cut out the red tape, improve service, and then frankly get out of the way so that you can sell your products, make your exports, and increase your sales, increase your profits, and yes, I'm interested in increasing the employment as well. So we had many partners here in the room, from the senator, the secretary, people at the SBA. You can hear a bunch of them later this afternoon. I want to thank you for joining us this morning. I think we have a bunch of interesting panels ahead of us. Thank you for joining us, and have a very good day.